Have you ever woken up in the morning, looked at the ceiling, and didn't want to get out of bed? Not because you're lazy, but because you don't see any reason to start a new day. Everything around you seems to suck the energy out of you. Boring work, heavy pressure, broken relationships, youthful dreams put in a dusty corner. You used to be a passionate person. You used to stay up late to finish a project just because you were passionate. You used to dare to dream big. You used to be excited when thinking about the future. But now, even a small thing like calling someone, replying to an email makes you tired. And then you ask yourself, am I out of battery? Is this my limit? I want to tell you this, you may be exhausted. You may think you've reached the end. But actually, you haven't used up all your strength yet. Today, we will find that forgotten source of energy together. Not with empty slogans, but with the most real, smallest things, but enough to make you get up and move on. There is a truth that many people do not want to admit. We do not lose motivation just because we are lazy, but because we have lived too long in a state of exhaustion without recharging. Remember, maybe you entered your current job with high expectations. But the pressure, deadlines, invisible demands, and even judgments have gradually eroded the initial excitement. At first, you thought, just try a little more and it will be fine. But that little more lasted for months, even years, until you no longer knew what you were trying for. The psychology of a person who is exhausted often has three clear signs: no longer finding joy in the things you used to love, feeling tired even before starting to do them, losing touch with your original goal. Everything becomes meaningless. Worse, you start comparing yourself to others. Why can they do it and I can't? And so you blame yourself, sinking deeper into the negative spiral. In fact, this is not because you are weak. It is because you have let yourself live too long just to survive, without a clear reason to fight. When the goal is dim, energy will automatically drain. And no matter how many hours you sleep, how many days off, you still feel empty, because the problem is not in your body, but in your mind. So, if we want to restore our energy, we must first find our why. Because once the reason is big enough, you will be surprised to find yourself stronger than you thought. To get out of a state of exhaustion, you don't need to change your whole life overnight. You just need to rekindle a small spark, and let it lead you out of the darkness. Start with 3 simple principles. 1. Remember your original why. Why did you start this job, this path, this life? It could be a childhood dream, a desire to provide for your family, a desire for financial freedom, or simply the pride of completing something difficult. Don't underestimate the need to sit down and write down your why on a piece of paper. When the why is strong enough, the energy will return. 2. Break things down into tiny steps. Exhausted people often feel like they have a mountain to climb. So turn the mountain into pebbles. For example, instead of, I have to write a 30-page report, set a goal of, write 1 page in 30 minutes. Instead of, I have to exercise for an hour, try, get up and walk for 5 minutes. You'll find that when you do something small, you'll be motivated to do the next thing. 3. Recharge through simple sources. Energy doesn't just come from getting enough sleep or eating healthy, it comes from connection and meaning. Meet a friend who makes you feel heard. Do a small act of kindness without anyone knowing. Give yourself some breathing room and space to think. Remember, your goal right now isn't to get back to 100% right away, but to stop yourself from falling further and climb back up step by step. You might think, but I'm so tired, how can I start? Start with the smallest thing, and let it lead the way. Because your strength does not lie in giant breakthroughs, but in perseverance little by little. I want to tell you the story of Min, a 37-year-old man, who used to be a sales manager at a large company. From the outside, everyone thought Min had it all: a high-paying job, a house, a car, a stable family. But inside, Min was empty. Sales pressure, endless meetings, emails in the middle of the night, wore Min down. One day he drove out of the company's parking lot, but instead of going home, he stopped in an empty lot, turned off the engine, and sat still for hours. No music, no phone. He just didn't want to do anything anymore. Then one day, Min's body spoke up. He fainted at his desk from exhaustion. The doctor said, "You're working like a machine. But you're not a machine, you're a human." Min took a month's leave. During that time, he realized, for the past 10 years, he had only known how to run, but he did not know where he was running to. The turning point came one morning. Min opened the closet and saw his old running shoes, a gift his wife gave him 5 years ago, when he used to run in the park. He decided to put them on and run again, even if it was just 1 kilometer. When he got back, he felt. He was still breathing, his heart was still beating, he still had strength. The next day, he ran 1.5 kilometers. Then 2 kilometers. With each step, he felt like he was regaining some of his lost energy. Min began to apply the principle of, little by little, every morning. He woke up 15 minutes early to breathe and write down 3 things he was grateful for. At work, instead of taking on everything, he learned to delegate and focus on the most important things. In the evening, he spent real time with his family, not letting work interfere. A year later, Min was not only healthier, but also found joy in his work again. He said, "I'm still busy, still stressed. But now, I know what I'm doing. And I realize, when I thought I was at my best, I was actually only using about 60%. Maybe right now, you're thinking, I'm so tired. I have nothing left to give. But stop for a moment, and remember, you've overcome things you thought were impossible. Look back at your life. How many times have you thought you were going to fall, but you still got up? That's proof that your strength has never disappeared. It's just sleeping, waiting for you to wake it up. You don't have to run a marathon right away. You just need to take one more step. You don't have to solve all your problems in one day. You just need to do one small thing to pull yourself out of the hole today. And then tomorrow, do one more thing. Remember this. Your body will get tired. Your mind will get tired. But your heart will always find its way home. You haven't used up all your strength yet. Get up. Keep going. Not for anyone else, but for yourself. If this video resonates with you, hold on to it. When you're tired, listen to it again, to remind yourself. Limits are just a pause, not an end.